Hello everyone, this is Subhashish Rath. This video is submitted to Professor Mahendra Gattu of NIT Rourkela for course CE 4903, that is Seminar and Technical Writing. Our topic included the moral leadership in crisis situation. The book which I have given my insights on the topic is My Invention, the autobiography of Nikola Tesla. I would first like to say my reason for choosing this book. Nikola Tesla was a great personality and an idol for a lot of learners. According to him, progressive development of a man is vitally dependent on invention. He was one of the most hard-working inventors. He was known for this quality even at a young age. When it comes to achieving great success in life, one have to work hard. Even the word extraordinary suggests that you have to do extra than the ordinary to be extraordinary. He had exceptional visualization and imagination skills. He had different ways of tackling his problems in crisis situations that we will see in this presentation as it progresses. He was a person with a great vision for mankind. His perception of an inventor. Tesla believed every effort under compulsion demands a sacrifice of life energy. He never paid such a price. On the contrary, he thrived on his thoughts. It is simply because of his immense self-satisfaction that he got due to working for others. Talking about his early life, he lost his brother at a young age for a mental disorder, which was then could not be identified by the doctors. He then started getting the same hallucination attacks as his brother. Those flash images would leave him unconscious and terrified. His parents became conservative after the death of his brother, so he was compelled to concentrate on himself, to such an extent that he was even not allowed to read books and it could damage his eyesight. There were times in his teenage where he did excessive gambling, due to which he even was at a stage where he lost everything. He was also addicted to smoking. Even though these qualities worked on a disadvantage for him, but still he was a solution oriented man. Even at this stage of life, he found out how to counter those hallucinations and made it a way to increase his visualization skills. He used to think of different images and objects which never existed to enhance his creativity. Mostly being a wallflower at such a young age, he learned the value of introspection in his life and took it as a blessing in disguise. He believed that when you are alone and in solitude, you are most creative. With his immense willpower, he overcame all addictions and habits which would have hampered his creativity. Coming to his first efforts at invention, when he was 17, he finally got to shape up his imagination and could form clouds of thoughts of various instruments he wanted to build. Like other inventors, he never did drawings, models, or any sort of experiments. His brain had developed to such an extent that he used to model and run the instrument in his mind itself. He was so accurate in it that he would even know if the instrument was unbalanced. He believed on the instinct of an inventor, which was an important asset. Many a times his own life was in danger in a lot of dilemma situations, where be it not for his instinct, he could have been dead. He was never a quitter and was persistent in his work. Always had a bigger vision which was far ahead of his time. His secret of invention was to be alone, that's where new ideas are born. One can know his true potential only when he spends ample amount of time with himself. He was never afraid to work hard. One have to believe on his dreams even though they seem impossible. In fact, when you express your dreams to people, it should be such big that people will think this idea is crazy to consider. His efforts in discovering of rotating magnetic field. The first idea was to make a cylinder rotate by creating vacuum in a chamber, which would exert rotational pressure on the shaft, which he later realized that the pressure was perpendicular to the surface of the shaft. and it was not creating any rotational effect. Failing a lot of times in different approaches, he was finally struck with the idea of alternating current, which will be the source of rotating magnetic field. Impossible. The first thing he got to hear when he would put forward his idea. At this stage, he was even struck with cholera and was given up by the doctors. On feeling well, he was asked by his father to be in contact in the nature, to roam around in the mountains. He used to take a bag full of books and used to spend the whole day in the forest. He never gave up. The key is not to look at failure as failure, but as a means to improve. He kept on improving. Tesla used to keep himself busy at the lab, and this is a very powerful trait that everyone should adopt. On recovering from cholera, spending time with nature. That is, he knew when to have a break. This developed him both physically and mentally. He used to believe the impossible. On a point of time, if we think of everything, it is impossible. No one knew that everyone would be talking in a current era with with mobile phones. But you rest is the history. When first he was successful in discovering his rotating magnetic motor, he said, "See my motor. Here, watch me reverse it." Then came the futuristic idea of wireless energy. Before the war of currents with addition, Tesla was bankrupt and worked in pig farms and did odd jobs to have a living. Identified by investors and got such financial support because of which he was able to make Tesla Electrical Company. The war of currents was won as Tesla's alternating current was revolutionizing and would provide electricity to every household. Then he started working on Tesla coil and magnifying transmitter to provide wireless electrical energy to the world. His work was almost complete when the investors realized that they would never profit from such an invention. Everyone backed off. Tesla was left with nothing. He had strong and immense passion for whatever he did. Tesla used to say, when nature inclination develops into a passionate desire, one advances towards his goal in 7 league boots. Be so good that people can never ignore you, and your bright ideas will definitely get attention from everyone. Strong patience is the most important ingredient. Rome was not built in a day. Every effort and idea takes time to manifest. He selflessly worked for mankind to see future of this world in safe hands. Now coming to the conclusion, Tesla taught us to live a purposeful life and to serve people. His ideas were always ahead of his time. Tesla did whatever he could do for the betterment of humanity to help people have a better quality of life. He never seemed to be interested in monetary gain, although he possibly downside of that he has never seemed to have enough money to what he needed to do. Although Tesla was not financially successful, he devoted his lifetime legacy to his inventions that brought conveniences to mankind. He lived with a purpose to serve. No doubt that he had big dreams, but what is even more fascinating is his unconditional dreams of making the world a better place and to serve everyone better.